Hi there. In today's video, we answer a question from a viewer. She asks, how do I know that the boundaries that I'm creating are not from past hurt experiences, but are from things that are healthy for me? That is an excellent question, and I'm here to answer that today. Hello, I am Jody, a transformational life coach, helping you create the life of your dreams. So boundaries, how do we, as we move on this path of transformation, how do we know that the boundaries that we are now having to create, because you know that things have to change, boundaries have to be set so that you have self-care, self-love, self-transformation is able to open and happen in your life. And so things have to change in your life in order for you to be able to properly transform. And one of those things is that we have to be in a place where we are protecting ourselves by creating boundaries. So the question comes in, how do you know that the boundaries that you're creating are from a place of health and not from a past place of hurt? How do you know that the protective shell that you are creating with the boundaries is not only from things that you maybe haven't healed from in your past, and that you think you need to protect yourself from them, but they're not really adding fruit to your life? Here is my best answer to this. If the boundaries that you're creating come from a place of ego, meaning that you're trying to not feel guilt, shame, sorrow, any of those very negative feelings, or you find yourself saying things like, she always says this to me, or they are always trying to make me feel bad and I'm tired of it, I'm not having it anymore. Or things like, you know that you're just being taken advantage. I'm just taking advantage of all the time, and I'm putting a boundary and I'm getting rid of this person out of my life for good. Now, we all know that some people are in our lives for a season, right? And that as you start to transform, those people that were once very entertaining, very engaging, something that you resonated with, that you no longer are going to resonate with. That is a normal process in the transformation for everybody in the world. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to let everything and everyone go. Because when you are transforming, you have to start to understand that other people cannot make you feel a particular way. That is your choice to feel the way that you feel all the time. Does it mean that other things that people say and do aren't going to make you angry? No. Does it mean that it's not going to hurt your feelings? Absolutely not. But when you get into a place of understanding that all of those things are external to you and they are really coming from the other person's hurt, sorrow, shame, guilt, whatever it is on you, you can separate yourself from it. So if you're creating boundaries that are based on your ego and you're feeling like, I can't do this because I won't be able to protect myself if I stay in this relationship, then you're not correct. Because if you do not let those energies engage you, then they cannot harm you. You can actually have people in your life that aren't that healthy for you when you start to transform, if you can learn to separate from them altogether, meaning emotionally separating their feelings. What they're projecting on you does not need to reflect upon you. So you don't want to create boundaries based on ego. And a good example of that is if you have a family member, especially family members. Now, with friends, this is a little bit different. Sometimes with friends, it's like, well, that particular friend just no longer resonates with me anymore, and it's time to let them go. And this is a boundary that I'm creating for myself. But maybe you have a family member that you feel is taking from you all the time. When you start to recognize that that taking is from a place of their insecurity, a place of their need, you can step back and say, I'm not doing this anymore. And it can come from a place of deep love. Because when someone is taking from you, then they are in a needy place of unable to help themselves. And when you put a boundary upon them, you're allowing them to learn to take care of themselves. Now, if someone's in a place where they're constantly needing because that's how they are, maybe they're sick, maybe they're poor, maybe they are really, really in a needy place, and you know that you have the opportunity to help them, yet you feel like you're enabling them, then you just have to make a choice. Is this from ego or is this a place from love? Am I giving from a place from love? Am I protecting myself by stepping back from a place of ego, or am I doing that from a place of self-love? Your intention behind all of your actions needs to come from a place of love. Love for yourself, love for the other person. And sometimes love is hard for you to decipher when you're on the beginning of this path and this journey. Because you can love another person by saying no. It's no different than when we tell our children, no, you can't have chocolate right before dinner. You love them. You want them to enjoy it. You want them to be able to have that chocolate because you know that it's something that they really will enjoy. But at the same time, it's not healthy and it's not good for them. So all of your intentions need to come from love. And sometimes that love is simply for yourself. All of your intentions need to come from a place of love. And sometimes that seems like when you're being too selfish if you're coming from a place of self-love, and that you're not holding other people as important in your life as they should be. And I'm here to tell you that that is just not true. When you're coming from a place of genuine love, you're building love inside of yourself, and you only have love to give to those around you. And so the boundaries that you set are from a very loving place, even if they don't seem loving to the other person. If someone is constantly making you feel bad about yourself when you're with them, family members, whoever, work environment, bosses, whatever, you are allowed to set a boundary by saying, it's not okay for you to talk to me that way, and I do not accept what you're saying is to be true. You can protect yourselves in ways and set boundaries in that way, but truly the best boundary that you can set in a situation where something like that's happened is for you to know that what you feel and what you know is truth inside of yourself. What they're saying doesn't affect you because it's not the truth. What they're empowering upon you from themselves does not need to be a part of your empowerment. See, people try to push their power upon us to make it part of who we are. But you do not let it need to permeate who you are any longer. It is a choice that you choose to do that. So what does healthy boundaries look like? It looks like this. When you're trying to create a life of your dreams and you're wondering, do I know if I'm setting the right boundaries in my life? Here is how you know for sure if you're setting the right boundaries. You take your end goal of the thing that you're trying to manifest or create in your life, where you want the abundance, what makes you abundance, and you envision that thing just like you do. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm envisioning. And you look at it. It's your goal. And you feel the presence of the reality of it being there. So you're stepping into knowing that you have everything that you need to get there, that you are there. You can smell it, feel it, all of that. And you know that you are the person ready to step into that abundance. Then anything that does not align with those things that you're trying to create, short-term and long-term, if it doesn't align with that, not meaning it doesn't create guilt, shame, or all that, it simply doesn't align, then you let it fall away and you say, I'm sorry, I am not going to engage in that particular thing because it's just not for me. And you learn to really stand up for yourself because what you want is the most important thing. Now, there will be things that happen in your life that will throw wrenches into what you think it is that you want in your future. Let's say you find out that your spouse is going to have a baby, you're pregnant, your wife is pregnant, and the two of you, and you're like, I didn't see this coming. This wasn't a part of my plan, but it's a beautiful thing to have a child. And so you say, okay, now I'm incorporating this into my vision, because life does that to us. It throws us curveballs. But you can take those curveballs and you can make them a part of your vision. All of these things will happen as long as you are staying focused on the end thing. Anything else that doesn't fit falls away, but it's not coming from a place of ego. It's coming from a place of love for your goal, for the abundance that you want, for yourself, for your self-worth, for your self-love, for the joy that you want to have in your life. All of that matters. And nothing can stop you from achieving the things that you want unless you let them. I'm going to repeat this once again. When you allow someone else's negative perception of you to be felt inside of your body. Now, this is a very hard thing, especially for people like me who are feelers and very intuitive. We know what other people are feeling a lot. But when I feel like somebody else is not appreciating me for the person that I am, and I allow that to hurt my feelings in some way, then I am engaging in that exchange with them. So in exchange of doing that, now what I do is I recognize it. It's okay for them to feel that way. It doesn't become my truth. How they feel is completely on them. It is separate from me. And I will move forward in a place of love and kindness and understanding towards my goals. And if you don't match and you don't fit what it is that I want to achieve, then you will simply fall away. And I will create boundaries, because I'll say, no, I'm not doing that. No, I am not going to engage in conversations with you that don't give us fruit, that don't bring me any kind of fruit. That seems selfish. But when you have self-love, doing it from a place of selfishness is good for you, because it's positively in the right direction. Now, people are going to come to you with their problems. People are going to be bringing things upon you and all that. It's perfectly fine, but you can separate from those emotions. It's all how you think with your thoughts and look at the truth of what is actually happening, what they're actually saying. You can help people. You can be coming from a place of abundance and give, and give. But as long as you're putting your self-care first, as long as you're putting your abundance first, then you're always going to have more than enough to give. And that is the key to creating boundaries. Thanks so much for being here with me. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, as well as share it with other important people in your life. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.